And hello and welcome everybody. We are racing today. It is Saturday, it is IVGTC day, it is a beautiful day. Well, the clouds say differently. It is a little bit on the cloudy side, but it's not gonna rain, the forecast assured me so. Anyways, we are here at Ricard racing for the third round of the IVGTC. And as we see someone go a bit wide in the background, what are we doing today? We are racing in two classes. The first class is VTubers actually, and the second class is sim racers. Those are going to battle it out, not directly with one each other, but they are going to fight for the win. Alright. My name is Julian, and we are going to take a look at the standings now. Look at this, the VTubers. We have one clear advantage for Charmander with 83 points, followed by VTuber Merkur VR with the funny number, and Psycho Kaiser just 1 point behind that. Victor Assetto is also close in their tails, with Kaibo VTuber Damasu being on the last step of the top 5 with 48. In the sim races, all is a much closer. There is Chris Blue still leading the way with 57 points in front of Naughty Dragon 05 with his 50 points. Then we have Thomas Wilson, the Australian, with 48 points, Tom Hartog with 47 points, and Abda Atskia with 46 points. All of those could still fight for the championship, as someone goes very wide in the background. Anyways, all of the sim racers could still fight for the championship, theoretically. We have Naughty Dragon 05, who won both races last time around at Monza. So it is gonna be interesting to see whether they can continue their form. That will be quite interesting to see. Anyways, we are in the qualifying session. And let's actually take a look at someone. We have Naughty Dragon 05 leading the way, currently in the pits. Let's show it to you guys. 1:55.927 is the time to beat currently in the qualifying. There is still 15 minutes to go. And shortly, well, the next closest person to Dragon 05 is our VTuber leader, Charmander, who is also in the pits currently. Right behind that is Psycho Kaiser, fighting for top positions, and with this beautiful livery is going on the Mistral Straight currently. There are quite a few people actually lining up on the Mistral Straight. Not all of them have a valid lap currently. But yeah, it is a fight, and that is a bit wide, but I don't think that was invalidated. No, it wasn't. Today marks a very special announcement that we have. Well, today we have sort of live stewarding. The thing is, every incident is being tracked right by me on the left side here, and then after the race it is all going to get looked at. Every contact between cars is going to get looked at and is going to either have a repercussion or will be a no further action. And yes, this is not Raceroom. We have switched to Assetto Corsa Competizione this season because the drivers wanted so. And well, since the drivers wanted so, we couldn't keep from pleasing them, from trying to please them at least, with this all new season. Now let's take a look at some of the liveries. Akito Asazagawa is here with his 56 car for Conoco Racing. And, well, last time around, unfortunately, I didn't have their livery. Actually, let me check something real quick. I don't think I have the livery for Ricard installed, which is, well, next time it will be installed. I am very sorry for anyone that has updated or uploaded the liveries in the last few hours today. There were many things still left to organize, as Psycho Kaiser is, well, pretty much on top of their best time currently, with being just 1/10 behind. But the last sector is a very technical sector where everything can get changed. There is much time to be had in the third sector, so what can Kaiser do? Let's see, he's still on top of his time. Now 1/10 ahead. How will the last corner go for Psycho Kaiser? It was quite good. They are on par with their time. Unfortunately, no improvement for Kaiser this time around. Let's have a look further down the pack. Trazione Integrale is making their debut today, racing in Season 3 for IVGTC. They have been racing in the last seasons, but this season is something completely new. Because it is Assetto Corsa Competizione and Trazione Integrale, our dear organizer, currently 7 seconds behind, and seem to have had some trouble in the first sector because they are 4 seconds behind their best time now. A bit above is Justus Kuro, who is racing also in the VTuber class with the Honda NSX. Now, that is a beautiful livery, but it is the NSX. It is a pretty unstable car. If you can tame it, it is a monster in straight line speed. So if that can be tamed on Sector 1 and Sector 3, the NSX can be a great contender, at least for some lovely overtakes. Now there's 8/10 up on their time. What can they do in the last sector? Well, that is looking good for a sub 2 minute lap. Justus Kuro comes across the line and improves to 1:59.71. That is lovely. Well done, Mr. Kuro. A bit further ahead, we have Jordan Brunch, who is actually a teammate of Akito Asazagawa. Both are in the Lexus Racing tonight. Well, the entire season, I suppose. And Jordan Brunch is currently 3/10 up on their time. So, what can they do? As they are on the Mistral Straight, coming towards the end, braking zone now. And turning into... Oh, that is a big slide! I almost caught it! Ay, 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 ay. Almost caught it, but not quite. That is unfortunate for the Conoco Racing driver. They were up 3/10 on their time. Now, let's take a look at Gary Slater, one of our sim racers. Now, they are indicating that they want past because they are currently on a pretty good time. They are up on par with their best time, which is 1:58.977. Still in the first sector, there's still much time to be gained to catch up to Naughty Dragon 05. Is Formula Drift at Paul Ricard? Yes. Unfortunately, no points for that drift as it was not caught. So on the Mistral Straight, going past the main building there, Gary Slater is 3/10 down on their time, unfortunately, right now. So that is not going to be an improvement. And they break off the lap. A bit further down, we have Panic Fungus currently in the first sector. A bit on, pretty much on pace with their best time currently, but there's still more time to be gained, of course. Now onto the Mistral Straight. It was a pretty good launch in the, what's the McLaren 720S. Let's see what Panic Fungus can do in the last sectors. In the last, yeah, 1.5 sectors basically, because one sector is basically just the Mistral Straight. Well, the 2 corners before that too, but yeah, you know. Panic Fungus 5/10 ahead now, saved pretty much time on the corner after the Mistral Straight. Actually, let me look that up right now. We have Paul Ricard, and I need a track map because we are going to go for a ride. Let's see, Panic Fungus currently on the last straight. Let's go with them onto the bonnet as they enter the pits. That was, yeah, perfectly planned. Let's see, do we have anyone currently close to finishing the lap? Yes, here we go. Psycho Kaiser seems to be close to finishing the lap, and we go for a bit of onboard action on the start-finish straight. We cross the start-finish line and cross the pit-exit line, apparently, and we go through the S della Vereria. I don't know how to speak French, so excuse my French. As we come onto this short little bendy straight into the Virage del Hotel. Apparently there's a hotel around here somewhere. As we come into the Virage du Camp. It's a camp, apparently. And the Virage de la Seine. Boom! My French is on point today as we go onto the Ligne droite du Mistral, or the Mistral Straight. Please, just call it the Mistral Straight, because I don't know if I can pronounce anything else. Now on here you have quite the time to amuse yourself, to drink some tea maybe, as we come into the Cour de Cygne, something like that. Cygne curve. And the double droit de Boussy. I'm trying my best here, but I'm sure it's not enough. As we get into this next left-hander, the Virage de Bendor. Beautiful name for a bend. And this slight right-hand king, the Courbe du Galabon, probably. And the second to last corner, the Virage de la Tour, leads us into staying on the left for Virage du Pont, which is our last corner as we go onto the start-finish straight. And let's see what can Psycho Kaiser do. Put him into second place, just 900s behind Naughty Dragon 05. That is sure to give Charmander some headache. Charmander, of course, trying to defend their championship lead. Now, in the meantime, what we didn't see is Thomas Wilson cross the line. Thomas Wilson in their Garage 59 McLaren managed to do a 1:56.862, 0.935 behind the top time. Now that is nothing to be too ashamed of. It is still, however, almost a second off, and a second off per lap. Now, that is not good enough. Thomas Wilson, you can do better. I believe in you. You are 2/10 up currently on your time, and you can do better. Let's see, senior corner, and loses a bit of time, not as good at the exit. That is unfortunate for Thomas Wilson, saving a bit of time here, however. Is that invalidated? Yes, that lap is invalidated now, thanks to that little off-track moment. That is unfortunate for Thomas Wilson. However, a bit further down we have Jordan Branch currently 0.2 seconds up on their time. What can they do? Lose it all in senior corner. That's what they can do. Unfortunate. Thomas Wilson, on the other hand, is again 2/10 up. The first sector seems to not have been so great for Thomas Wilson. As we come into the camp corner, apparently. Camp, something like that. And what run can they get onto the Mistral Straight? It is somewhat good run, on pace with their current lap. However, managing to save 3/10 in the first sector already. Thomas Wilson is on track for another good lap right here, right now. A house braking going into senior corner, however you pronounce it. It is losing a bit of time again. Not the best. Going a bit wide here again, but staying within the white lines just barely. Losing a bit of time in the while, and there we have it. That was a bit too much, unfortunately. That was too much off the curb. This lap is invalidated again. Now let's look a bit further down the track. We have Yuri Nikolai in the 50 years BMW M blue camo livery. It is a BMW, and Yuri Nikolai is 1 second up on their time in the first sector. To be fair, I think it is the second lap only that Yuri Nikolai is setting. So, let's see what they can do. It is the last lap of the qualifying session, and we haven't yet talked about the tropical temperatures. 33 degrees air temperature, 37 degrees asphalt temperature. Luckily, we have pretty major cloud cover. Otherwise, it would shoot above 40 degrees, probably, the asphalt temperature. Now, Yuri Nikolai lost a bit of time going onto the Mistral Straight. Now only 3/10 up and losing more time. Oh, that is unfortunate. That is the lap gone for Yuri Nikolai. There is not going to be an improvement this time around. Who can still improve on their lap? Nobody. Everyone is going off track, has some problems. So, Yuri Nikolai, please do not impede on other people's laps like this. What are you doing? What is happening here? Oh, perhaps there is a lack of fuel in Yuri Nikolai's car, and they are getting pushed ahead by Tom Hartog. Maybe that's the case. They are taking the new pit entry line. That is some lovely teamwork right there between the BMW teammates. And that is some not really properly fueled car, because the lap couldn't have been finished, unfortunately. So, we have a starting grid now. Let's take a look at the starting grid with this, hello. We have Dragon 05 followed by Psycho Kaiser, then Thomas Wilson, Charmander, Reska Kyozo, Kaibo Damazu, Azuzagawa, Blue, Brunch, Hartog, Slater, Pillow, Buinovic, Rich, Kuro, Hawken, Dabrovka, Fungus, Nikolai, Benson, Mentrix, Trazione Integrale, and Kanemoto. Kanemoto here with the beautiful logo on their side. Have to feature that. And Trazione with the beautiful blue livery. Here we go. We got some nice looking liveries inside here. What's this? That's an interesting livery. By Fungus. It says Getränk, which is German for drink. That is interesting. And this. We have some weeps in here, but that is okay, because we are starting to go into the formation lap. And did anyone forget to press start this time around? Nope! Everyone is starting from their correct positions. So, it's gonna be a fight to see whether Dragon 05 can repeat what they did last time around, which is 2 unprecedented wins, being seconds ahead of the nearest competition. But we saw Psycho Kaiser having quite the pace around here as well, and the Lexus is a straight line beast. So we'll have to see what Psycho Kaiser can do. I will have to see what Naughty Dragon can do to defend with the Team Bentley M Sports livery. On the other hand, we got Chris Blue trapped behind 4 VTubers to get to Thomas Wilson, which will be the next sim racer they are battling with. Can they make up all of those positions? Can they even make up a position in their class this time around? It is going to be questionable. It is going to be a challenge. But it is definitely going to be a challenge Chris Blue will like to take. And of course, on their debut rounds this time around, we have Reska Kyozo. But who wants a soda racing? Let's see what they can do this time around on their debut. I know from personal experience that Kyozo is a very quick driver. So, the overlay still says qualifying. Thank you, Mercury VR. We are on race 1 now. We are on race 1, which is going to take 35 minutes. And we are racing at 2 PM. And we have a track temperature of 41 degrees. Blistering hot temperatures for all of the participants. Will they manage their tires? Have they set up their tire temps correctly? That is going to be crucial this time around, as tire temps can save you quite lots of time, especially in Sector 1 and Sector 3, the more technical sectors we are going through today. We are coming into the last few corners here in Sector 3. It is a long out lap. It is a long lap. It is almost a 2-minute lap. Some of the people were on 2 minutes after all in the end. Now everyone in the back needs to catch up to the voice crack, to the back of the grid, in order to not get a drive-through penalty. If you misplace your car on the start of the race, you get a drive-through penalty. That is automatically generated by Assetto Corsa Competizione. And now we are coming onto the last corner and onto the start-finish straight. Is everyone positioned correctly? Will everyone get a good start? Naughty Dragon 05 is a bit behind again. Psycho Kaiser may get the head start. It looks like Psycho Kaiser is a bit in front. They are about head to head and they are starting. We are green. Let's see what Naughty Dragon can do. Naughty Dragon has a better start, but Resca Kyoso on the outside there taking away a pylon. It has a great start. Thomas Wilson, on the other hand, had a problematic start. Now, behind Charmander and Resca Kyoso, we have a car in the pits. Kanemoto is unfortunately in the pits, and that was a bit of touching between Wilson and Resca Kyoso. Luckily nothing happened there, but it was an overtake gained. The stewards will have a look at this after the race. Now, why is Kanemoto in the pits? That is unprecedented. What is precedented, however, is Naughty Dragon 05 still leading the race. In front of Psycho Kaiser, who's getting a bit caught up here on the straight by Charmander. A bit further back, we have a 4-way battle here. Thomas Wilson now shuffled to the back, fighting with Chris Blue, and Chris Blue manages to make the overtake stick. That is a lovely move, but fighting right ahead of them is Resca Kyoso, who is side to side with Akito Asagawa. And Resca Kyoso with the outer line didn't get the drive they needed and wanted. Unfortunately, still Kanemoto in the pits. I have no idea what is going on there. We are gonna have to realize, and Chris Blue goes for the overtake, and there's a bit of touching. It is a very small corner. Chris Blue seems to give it back. If that was purposefully given back, then I say fair play. Fair play, Chris Blue. Well done. But behind you, there is the battle between Jordan Brunch, who wants to keep up with their teammate, and that is a crash. That 2 driving lines collided, and Jordan Brunch went off. Thomas Wilson managed to continue in all of this. With a bit of luck, they were also very sideways. And Jordan Brunch, however, on the very back of the grid now, falling all the way back. The only person behind them still Kanemoto, still in the pits. Let's take a look. Let's take a gander. Naughty Dragon 05 is still in the lead, followed by Psycho Kaiser and Charmander. Akito Asagawa is being followed by Resca Kyoso, who's being closely followed and attacked by Chris Blue, who definitely wants this position. Resca Kyoso gives it off, gives it in, and that is the move done for the BMW driver. Behind them is Thomas Wilson, fighting for track position and overall position, with Tom Hartog behind them. Tom Hartog having been the championship leader after round 1. Oh, as Wilson goes wide, and that is the chance for Hartog to take the position. And Hartog is now in front. A bit further behind we have a four-way battle here. Gary Slater is following Justus Kuro very closely. And Justus Kuro is following Shike Hawken, and there's the attack by the BMW of Yuri Nikolai against Gary Slater. Now the BMW drivers today are having very aggressive races, are trying to show off their prowess on the racetrack. Further behind we have Reg, who is fighting there with Damasu and Dabrovka, but getting the better into the braking zone. And there was someone spun, it was Panic Fungus. Let's see what happened there. Panic Fungus going onto the start finish straight. And what happens? He's pretty much alone right now. Okay, it was another car that was shown wrong to me. Oh, we were watching Buinovic, not Fungus. That is unfortunate. What is more fortunate, however, is Psycho Kaiser, who is catching up with Naughty Dragon 05. Actually having the fastest race lap set right now with a 1:56.345. That is great pace for the full fuel load they are probably having and the 41 degrees on track temperature. It is great showing by Psycho Kaiser. However, Naughty Dragon 05 is still in the lead. What can Psycho Kaiser catch up? More closely on battle is Chris Blue, who is again behind Reska Kyoso. They seem to not get along and not be able to figure out whose track position, who should have the track position. As behind Justus Kuro, there's Gary Slater and Yuri Nikolai still fighting. Yuri Nikolai getting the better drive after having touched Gary Slater a bit. But who has the better braking? Is it the BMW or the Audi? Looks to be the BMW who overshoots. Yuri Nikolai bravely overshot T1 there and made up a bit of time. We'll see how that is going to be dealt with. In the meantime, we have Reg being followed by Damasu and Pillow as they are going onto the start-finish straight. A bit further behind we have Imentrix VT being followed by Buinovic. Who gets the better run onto the straight? And there's a heavy slipstream battle between Kaibo, VT, Damasu and Reg. Both crawling to the right side. Can the Honda driver use the top speed to their advantage? Going back on the outside for the braking zone. BMW driver as well. And Reg gets the better braking into Cine corner. This is a close battle still, however, as they are catching up to. Is that Dabrovka in front of them? Yes, it is Dabrovka in the Aston Martin. If I'm not mistaken, that is the V12 Aston Martin, the old one. That is a very brave move, but it is a lovely car to take a listen to. So why don't we just do that? That is a lovely car by the sound of it. Now, this is going to be a strong slipstream battle. Right behind there as Christoph Retsch is being followed directly again by Kaibo VT Damasu. And what can be done this time around? Damasu is much closer this time around. Goes side by side with the BMW. But is the drive enough? No, it is not. Retsch probably in the back end of the slipstream of Dubrovka, being able to stay in front. Goes a bit wide and goes a bit loose there. That is a moment, but shake it off, and shake it off, Retsch did. Back on track in the BMW. And the synchronized spin. Let's take a look at what happened exactly. Again. Was there touching involved? Yes, it was a touch. That is going to be looked at by the stewards, and there is probably going to be a penalty for Damasu heading their way. The worst thing about this, it is not even for position, because they are not in the same class. Retsch must be livid right now under the BMW hood. In the meanwhile, Justus Kuro has overtaken Yuri Nikolai. No, that has overtaken Shike Håkan. What is going on with Håkan? The Porsche not doing them too well, going a bit wide here on the entry onto the Mistral straight. That is not looking all too good. What is looking good, however, is Reska Kioso, who is directly on the back of Chris Blue. They are still fighting like there is no tomorrow. The BMW, the M6, having the advantage on the straight, most likely. Whereas the Audi is, with its mid-engined layout, perhaps a bit more flexible in the technical sectors. Let's see who can get the better drive out of the last corner. There's some flashing, did I see that correctly? That would be a very ambitious flash, saying, oh, I'm going for it. From way back there. That is not going to happen. That is not going to happen, and I hope I saw that wrong. But Rescioso still on the back, not giving up the position. Although, well, they are only, in quotation marks, only in P4 for the VTuber class. So, gonna have to see how that plays out. A better race is currently held by Akito Azizagaba, who is on P3 for the VTubers, and Charmander, who is on P2 for the VTubers, losing sight of the two leaders, however. And Psycho Kaiser still sort of managing to stay up with Naughty Dragon 05. Let's give the race leader a bit of airtime. Their last lap around was actually the fastest lap of the race so far. That was a 1:56.177. Lovely. Well done by... I forgot where they are from. Probably Great Britain. Probably. Now as they are coming up to the first back marker. And Kanem also luckily got going, but is the first back marker. Soon there is going to be a bit of lapping to be done by the leaders, but it is still lovely to see that Kanemoto got going, get a bit of practice for the second race. Or maybe if someone crashes their car, Kanemoto can take up the position. Unfortunately, it's looking difficult for racking up good points for them today. Now, someone went wide there. Winovich had some trouble right now. What was going on there? Winovich just went wide into the last few corners and just lost it on the braking. Very unfortunate. But manages to regain composure, lost a bit of position in the way. Not being last of the sim races now. Being last of the sim races now, and not being last of the sim races now is Christoph Retsch, who, thanks to the error of Winovich, managed to get the position back. And is going up against a very defensive iMentrix VTuber. Having to get a bit of the gas there for the straight, it seems. Can Retsch take the advantage of the slipstream and get the track position back up? Mentrix being very defensive, but Retsch taking the slipstream onto the left of the track. Let's see if this battle pans out in the presumably Germans' favor. It seems to do, as they are braking into the last corner, and Retsch, there's a bit of uncertainty by Mentrix, but Retsch manages to make it stick. And there's a yellow flag for Raska Kyoso. What happened there? That was completely alone, it seems. Let's take a look. Oh! It seems like there was a DC. Very unfortunate for the Brits to disconnect in their good position on track. But yes, the flying cars are back. But that doesn't matter to Gary Slater, who is following Justus Kuro, and they are directly behind Shike Hawken. Onto the Mistral straight they even go. What can Justus Kuro do in the anime Honda in the slipstream of the Porsche? They should have a major advantage on the straight line speed. However, it seems that Shike Hawken got a great run onto the straight as they are making up time to the two drivers behind them. Oh, and that was not the best move by Justus Kuro. Gary Slater managing to nick the position. And Gary Slater now looking at the back of the Porsche, but not without having to defend. Goes a bit wide there, goes for a late exit, opening the door for Justus Kuro again, but Justus Kuro not managing to take advantage of the situation. Following very closely behind, however. Let's see what, if anything, happens into the last corner. No heroic actions this time around. That is good to see, and that is lovely to see for Shike Hawken in the rear mirrors, because every fight that those two back there have, Hawken doesn't need to worry about that. The field seems pretty settled right now. We have this one battle going on right now, and a bit further behind there's Jordan Brunch wanting to claw back a few positions after having had a bit of trouble. Going on the side of Mentrix now. That is a corner that is very difficult to overtake into. With the track limits especially, Jordan Brunch manages to do it perfectly. Now, since we are a bit past the halfway point, let's go through the order right now. We have Naughty Dragon 05 leading the race, currently in the 10th lap. Behind them Psycho Kaiser, then Charmander, Akito Asagawa, Chris Blue, Thomas Wilson, Tom Hartog, Shike Hawken, Gary Slater, Justus Kuro, Adrian Dubrovka, Kaibo Viti Damasu, Yuri Nikolai, Poofy Pillow, Christoph Retsch, Jordan Brunch, iMentrix VT, Anatoly Bujnovic, Panic Fungus, Trazione Integrale, Alex Benson, and Kageru Kanemoto, rounding off the 22 drivers currently on the grid. Now, what is going on track? We have a bit of closeness between Gary Slater, Justus Kuro, and Shike Hawken. Still, they all three managed to be catching up to Tom Hartog, however, who seems to have lost their pace. 13 seconds behind Thomas Wilson now. Hartog is definitely not looking to lose another position to Gary Slater, and probably also not track positions to Shike Hawken and Justus Kuro. What can the trio do? Can they manage to catch up with the Dutch? On the other end of the spectrum, we have Anatoly Bujnovic, the Russian, fighting against Mentrix and getting a pretty easy overtake there. Mentrix, however, trying to go on the outside, into the inside, on the Mistral straight, not managing to quite do so, however. Simple overtake for Anatoly Bujnovic, who is currently last in the sim racing group. Now let's give a bit of air time to our race leader, who is currently 2 seconds ahead of Psycho Kaiser, which is not as dominant of a performance as we have seen at Monza last time around, but it is a good performance nonetheless. And further down the grid, Gary Slater is right on the back of Shike Hawken now. Something must have happened to Shike Hawken there. Some trouble, as the three are bunched up together now again. Gary Slater not being able to capitalize into turn 1, however. And that was close. That was a later breaking point for Justus Kuro. And luckily Gary Slater saw it and managed to swerve out of the way. Otherwise the touch could have been deflating the race of both of these racers. Now with a respectable difference, they are again going onto the Mistral straight. Bit of respect never hurt anyone, and they are certainly showing the respect distance right now. Further ahead, with Thomas Wilson, who just went past. I guess that is Kagero Kanemoto, exactly. With the satin metallic red. I see that from here, a beautiful color scheme. I once used it myself. As it seems like Jordan Brunch is catching up to Christoph Retsch. The track's optimum in the meanwhile. There is no wind going on. It is still cloudy as ever, and we still have 41 degrees of track temperature. At least the conditions are staying the same for the drivers. But Jordan Brunch manages to edge ever closer to Christoph Retsch. The guys in different races. Is there going to be a battle between them, or is Christoph Retsch saying, no, you're quicker, you can go past? We will have to see in I guess a few corners time already, as Jordan Brunch manages to edge ever closer in the first 2 corners. What is going on? Already the first move starting, but now on the outside of this left-hander, but on the inside for the right-hander. Very bad angle, however. But Retsch leaves enough space for Brunch to get past. That was a pretty safe overtake. Luckily, well, in this case, luckily, the entire runoff of Paul Ricard is full of tarmac. As Adrian Dubrovka proves that it is advantageous in some cases to have tarmac runoff everywhere. It might not look the prettiest, but it is pretty safe for the drivers, if they do not have a complete mechanical failure, that is. Which we are not hoping for. Now the 3-way battle between Chike Hawk and Gary Slater and Justus Kuro might be made a 4-way by Damaso, as Chris Blue gets a drive-through. That was probably for the track limits, and that is not good. That is gonna lose the American a few positions. At least one to Thomas Wilson. But how about Tom Hartog? Where is Tom Hartog? Going on to the Mistral straight. Oh, that it could be close, but I think the pit lane is long enough for Tom Hartog to take the position. And we can see, of course, with this amount of off-tracking, there is no way for Chris Blue to avoid the drive-through penalty. But we'll have to see where that was. Maybe that was in the first 2 corners. I know I always had problems in the in the second corner actually, keeping it between the white lines, because I always wanted to take just a tiny bit more of the inside curb. Now, is Chris Blue going to do his drive-through right at the beginning? No, they are waiting. They do have 3 laps to do the drive-through. If I remember correctly, 3 laps to do the drive-through. And if that wasn't done, it is going... Is it going up or is it disqualification? I seem to not be able to remember. As Damasu is catching up to Kuro, and Slater is pretty much right behind Chike Hawken now. That's some funky sounding cars. Now let's look what Justus Kuro is going to do. Damasu behind them, probably agitated from the livery, from the Ara Ara on the back. So Damasu, it is no problem. You can go past any time you like if you have the pace for it. And it seems like the first try is going to be right here. And that did enough to make Justus Kuro insecure and let them lose the position. Now it is Anatoly Dubrovka. No. Adrian Dubrovka. It was Anatoly Buinovic and Adrian Dubrovka. I am very sorry, but Adrian Dubrovka is now on the back of Justus Kuro. And the V12 power shows its strength on the Mistral Straight. Oh, this is some class action racing, class action overtake right here, right now. For P11 on the racetrack. Now Chris Blue is still not entering the pits. Chike Hawken in the meanwhile was overtaken, it seems, by Gary Slater. Is losing the pace a bit. Or is Gary Slater just late at picking up the pace? Two people who have not lost their pace are Naughty Dragon 05 in the lead, who is still lapping, well, not quite in the 56s anymore, but in the low 58s currently. Psycho Kaiser doing the same thing in the low 58s, and Charmander being even able to lap in the high 57s. So I guess if Charmander just finds a bit of time in the starting stages of the race with their tire management, they can be a good contender later in the race. Now Chris Blue. Chris Blue is looking to lose 3 positions at least in their drive-through penalty. Coming around into the last corner now. What will Chris Blue do? Will he finally enter the pits? Or will he stay out and risk getting a heavier penalty? Into the last corner we come as Thomas Wilson gets also a drive-through penalty. That is a game changer for Chris Blue, who now has to enter the pits to do their drive-through penalty. We'll take a look at Thomas Wilson. Will they follow suit immediately? Yes, Thomas Wilson goes into the pits too. As Tom Hartog is way behind with 24 seconds. Can Chris Blue and Thomas Wilson exit the pits before Tom Hartog comes around? The exit of the pits is already there. It is a short pit line, and Tom Hartog is coming on. Tom Hartog is coming, and almost a collision with Thomas Wilson there. They managed to all avoid him, however. Luckily, just by the edge of their teeth, I guess, missing themselves. Lucky for everyone involved. As there is a yellow flag for Dubrovka. What was that? Let's take a few seconds back and see what happened there. Oh, it might have just been, yes, it seems to have been a lag occurring for Adrian Dubrovka. That's unfortunate, and we hope it doesn't repeat itself. Further back, we got Yuri Nikolai still in 15th position. And let's see, where is Naughty Dragon 05? Will this be the last lap? It probably will be, just by the closest amount, will be the last lap of the race. Naughty Dragon 05 leading as Thomas Wilson just took back the position from Tom Hartog. No, Gary Slater. And Damasu and Shike Hawken are fighting. Shike Hawken really not having the best race right now. Losing positions left, right and center in the ending stages of this race. I guess the tires are just shot. Wrong temperatures in the tires, wrong pressures, and it's just gone. On the other end of the spectrum, we've got Naughty Dragon 05, who is coming into the last sector right now. There are still 30 seconds left on the clock. It will be close, but I think this will be the last lap. Can Naughty Dragon do it again? The third win in 3 races they have participated in. And the timing is over. Naughty Dragon is your winner of this race, and Psycho Kaiser is the winner of the VTuber category. Now Charmander manages to successfully stay in P3 overall, and Akito Asasagawa coming into the last corner. No trouble keeping it on the podium for their class. Now, are there any late changes to the standings? Possibly. It seems like everything is rather settled right now, as Chris Blue makes his way through the final corners. A Naughty Dragon is celebrating on the Mistral Straight, celebrating the win, the third win in a row, 3 races participated, 3 wins. There's a very strong showing by the newcomer to the series, the newcomer to SGP. God knows where they have been before. As Shike Hawken crosses the line, and Dabrovka does as well. Jordan Runch managed to lose a position to Kuro, but Kuro gives it back? No, that is Kanemoto. That is Kanemoto, the back marker. Everything's clear now. That is Kanemoto. As the last few come over the line, and Atsukiya unfortunately not being able to finish the race, or probably joined late, and now looking to join for the second race. Wow. That was some race 1. Now we'll see how race 2 will be able to go. We had 24 incidents happen in race 1. That is a very, very good showing by the racers. A pretty clean race we had around for the first time. Ooh. So we'll be switching off into race 2 soon. And race 2 will start exactly the same as did race 1. The same lineup. Naughty Dragon 05 will start from pole position again, thanks to our qualifying wonder. And I've got some news on Ricard. Unfortunately, their race ended thanks to a blue screening of their PC. That is a very unfortunate way to get out of this race. And let's hope it doesn't repeat itself. Now we are in race 2, however, and everything is set from the beginning. Ricard, unfortunately, in our chat, I'm not sure if rejoining now would be in the question. I think it would be, yes, but it is on them to decide. It is on Ricard to decide. It is unfortunate to see you go. Not gonna risk race 2. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, Ricard is not gonna risk racing in race 2 with a few freezes going on. So, this means the battle for the podium in VTuber class is again on between Psycho Kaiser, who showed immense pace last time around, Charmander, who was in a quiet, lonely position, and Kaibo Damasu, who had a bit of trouble last time around. Akito Asasagawa again will be fighting for the podium, but will Damasu keep it straight this time around? We will have to see. And will Thomas Wilson get a good start of the line this time? We will have to see that as well. Before that, however, we have a bit of a, well, opening lap again. And let's enjoy that. Seeing Kanemoto in the back. How about that? Well, it's Kia in the back because we haven't seen them this time around. Actually, what is that Kia doing? No, not going. Let's take a look at Kia's livery. Oh yeah. This livery, exactly. I featured it last time on the grid. Unfortunately, this time Atsukiya was late. But the livery is still the same. These people seem to pour their hearts and souls into their liveries. It is a beautiful thing, I have to say. Now, we'll have to see how Atsukiya can make up a few positions. Now, there are not so many sim races on the grid, but Atsukiya is still going to have to make up quite a few positions in order to, well, make some good points. Of course, they are fighting for the top positions in the sim racer class. But Atsukiya has to fight for VTubers before even getting to the next position, which would be Yuri Nikolai in overall 18th. So we will have to see what happens this time around. Can Naughty Dragon again do a great start? Or will Psycho Kaiser get the head start this time, maybe? Still half a lap to go. It is 3 p.m. The track temperature is still 40 degrees hot. Holy macaroni. This is, again, a battle of tire degradation, I dare say. With no wind cooling anything off. It is all on the tire management skills of the drivers. It is only 35 minutes, but in these 35 minutes, tires can get drastically worse. We saw so last time around, Naughty Dragon and Psycho Kaiser first starting off with low 56 times, but then only managing low 58. That's 2 seconds. Whereas Charmander managed to keep everything within 1 second. So of course, we're gonna be looking at Charmander this time around and see whether they can do better in the starting phases of the race. Because of course, tire management skills are with them. No question there. They showed it last race around. Tire management is not an issue. And they showed they can win their class on Monza. But what can they do this time around? As everyone lines up in their formation to start, everyone comes around towards the final corner. We are Race 2, we are IBGTC, hosted by TRACC.eu and All Waifu Drive. And it looks like Naughty Dragon is lining up better, but let's see who starts better. It is green, and again Charmander has a drastically impressive start. Psycho Kaiser losing quite a few positions, immediately being in the middle there and getting touched by a BMW. Everyone managing to keep out of it. However, a bit further back there is some trouble brewing. Atskia managing to make up a few positions and being even in front of Yuri Nikolai already. Now, Naughty Dragon 05 being closely followed, and there's a drive-through again for Chris Blue. What is Chris Blue doing? That is not looking too good for the American. This time a drive-through right in the beginning of the race. Very unfortunate, as Naughty Dragon 05, the first three are actually already getting the pace up, as there is a heated battle for P4 on track. Akito Asasagawa, they make it 3 wide at the end of the Mistral Straight. What is happening here? Akito Asasagawa managing to keep the position on the inside line. This is a lovely move by the VTuber, as behind them Thomas Wilson is taking the inside line, managing to get past Chris Blue. Keeping the inside line into this next corner. This is some close battling, and there's a yellow flag. What happened 15 seconds back for Panic Fungus? There seemed to have been maybe a collision, maybe someone just lost it. It was Fungus who just lost it and collected. Who was that? That was Justus Kuro, I believe. And I'm Mentrix spun. What happened there exactly? Going wide a bit and getting collected by Trazione Integrale, who themselves got kicked out wide by a BMW driver. Whew! This is a stressful start to the race. And stressful it is also for John Branch, who goes a bit wide and needs to let past Damasu and Hello. Now this midfield battle is heating up. We have Akito Asasagawa trying to hold on to that position, but Thomas Wilson is right on the back of Akito. The Lexus is a straight line beast, but what can the McLaren in the slipstream do? Let's see, it's edging ever closer, And last second going onto the left. Now they are equal. They do not have any opportunities, any advantages. And Akito on the inside line managing to make it stick, defending like a professional. However, Thomas Wilson's line a bit impeded, making Chris Blue able to catch up. Further behind, we have a close battle. Panic Fungus taking on. And what was that? That was Bujinovic. That was Bujinovic and I guess Justus Kuro touching. Oh, these people are really fighting right now. They are really fighting for their positions. As Chris Blue is coming around, there's an overtake. Thomas Wilson tries to go on the inside on the last corner. That is a very ambitious move, and Chris Blue still does not go into the pits for their drive-through. Thomas Wilson, Akito Asasagawa being on par right now. Akito a bit in front, braking later for turn 1. Thomas Wilson seeing that they cannot hold this position. But they now need to defend against Chris Blue, who is immediately on their tail. And is immediately going past. Does he manage to make it stick? Yes, quite easily even. A bit further back, what happened here? Did Kaibo collect Jordan Brunch just now? It seems like he is going off track, offline. Oh, that did not look too good. Let's go a bit back. Yeah, there was a touch there. There was a touch. Jordan Brunch, Kaneko Racing VTuber has been collected by Damasu. This is again not the best race for the VTuber. Not the best race. Starting from so high up the grid, now losing positions left, right and center. On the other hand, we do have Naughty Dragon 05 who still manages to pull out the low 56, a 56-0 last time around, being followed closely under 1 second by Charmander this time. And Psycho Kaiser, do they manage to keep up? Panic Fungus has a moment again at the end of the Mistral Straight, maybe. Let's see what happened. There was a yellow flag out. Panic Fungus loses it, manages to catch it off track and rejoins safely. And Chris Blue is now in the pits. Who will overtake them? That is Pillow, that is Slater. Yuri Nikolai is next, but I'm not sure they will come in time. Oh, there they're coming. Yuri Nikolai gets the position as well, as does Justus Kuro, Panic Fungus, Bujinovic and Wretch. Wow! And Blue gets even taken by Brunch, and while rejoining by Benson. And Yuri Nikolai just had a moment. What happened there? Into T1. Just going a bit wide, losing it a bit. Managing to not quite catch it, however. That is very unfortunate for Yuri Nikolai, as Panic Fungus has the next moment. What is happening here? That was not the bestest of rejoins. But what happened to Panic Fungus? Let's see, they touch. Oh, they touch a bit there. And what happens next? Just losing it a bit and getting turned around. Then trying to rejoin into oncoming traffic. Ooh. This is quite the challenging view. What is another challenging view is Alex Benson, who is challenging Chris Blue right in front of him. But Chris Blue is just quicker. There is nothing Alex Benson can do at this moment in time. There is a battle here. Jordan Brunch is trying to catch up positions, however. There is Trazione Integrale right in front of them, and Damaso is also trying to get claw back positions from way back right now. And Trazione Integrale is a bit in the way, it seems, for Jordan Brunch. But when can they overtake safely? Can they do it into the last corner right here, right now? Trazione Integrale is driving a defensive line. Jordan Brunch going wide, and this enables a space for Damaso, and they are 3 wide. What can they do into T1? Trazione Integrale is being left behind. Touching a bit. But Jordan Brunch manages to keep in front. Trazione Integrale going on the attack, not giving up the position lightly, but needs to give up the position and give up the position to Chris Blue, who is also trying to claw back their way up the grid right now. And that was Trazione Integrale going right into the side of Damaso. Oi, 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 the stewards are going to have a field day today. As Dubrovka also has a problem. And Dubrovka. Can they get going again? Will they get going again? They try they do with the Aston V12. Another person who tries and tries is Thomas Wilson, who is right on the back of Akito Asagawa. Thomas Wilson, of course, trying to get back up to their starting position at least, which was P3 on the grid. A bit further behind, there is Yuri Nikolai following Anatoly Buinovic. I knew that. As they go, they go a bit side by side. Buinovic go a bit defensive in the last corner. This is going to enable Yuri Nikolai to get a better run onto the start-finish straight. What can Yuri Nikolai do out of this situation? Not too much on the start-finish straight, it seems. Gets the better run into the first corner, however. Oh, it is a bit wide for Buinovic. What does he do? What does Anatoly Buinovic do? He needs to let Nikolai pass now. Of course. It was a shortcut. And this shortcut would have to be punished otherwise. But Shike Hawken is now going into the pits. What is happening here? Is this for a repair job? Or is this because of a drive-through? I don't think it's a drive-through, because otherwise it would be standing there. Dubrovka again having a yellow flag. Oh, that was probably due to lag. But Shike Hawken entering the pits and going for a pit stop right now. Let's take a look back towards the back straight, the Mistral straight. Jordan Brunch with the Lexus Crunch going hot at the end of the Mistral straight and trying to get Christoph Retsch, making them go wide. Everyone goes wide apart from Jordan Brunch, who manages to get 2 positions in 1 corner. If those were for position, that would be great. Unfortunately, those were just for track position and not 4 points. However, Christoph Retsch seems to lose another position to Chris Blue, and they touch during the overtake. Very aggressive racing this time around by everyone involved. As Chris Blue tries to go for the next overtake into the last corner, it will have them get a last good exit, however. Glad I brought that out of my mouth. And Buinovic is again in front. Chris Blue, however, does have the pace. However, needs to defend from Christoph Retsch as well, as Shike Hawken rejoins, probably after a repair job or a refueling. Now they're side by side, Buinovic and Blue. Who has the upper hand into this next corner? Buinovic does not give an inch. But that means there would have to be a touch. And the touch happened, and Buinovic lost the position. Now fighting against Christoph Retsch. The Audi is getting swamped by the BMWs. What can Retsch do on the back straight, on the Mistral straight? Has a very good exit compared to the Russian. And Christoph Retsch is side by side. What is stronger, the BMW prowess or the Audi power? It seems like the Audi has a bit of an upper hand, managing to claw their way. Maybe they run a bit less drag on the rear wing. We don't know. All we know is that Buinovic managed to defend the position on the Mistral straight like a pro. But now Shike Hockey is back there. It is allowed to unlap yourself, but will Hawken do so? That's the question. Is Hawken quick enough to safely re-overtake for that position? Or is he not going to try and break up the fight? Shike Hawken is right on the back of Christoph Retsch now. And he's going for it. That is an interesting move by the lapped car. Going on the inside, taking it quite safely. But now Hawken needs to show that this overtake was rightful. Shike Hawken needs to put in the pace right now, as Alex Benson has a bit of an off-track moment. Christoph Retsch being now closely followed by Damasu. And Damasu managing to get a better line onto the start finish straight. But this was close. They almost touched and both go off track to invalidate the lap. Maybe even get an off track. This was close and surely not to the liking of either of those drivers. Let's go a bit up ahead towards Gary Slater, who is following Poofy Pillow, who has a very good race in their hands, being in P7. I don't believe we had a showing as good as this from Poofy Pillow so far. Poofy Pillow racing for Wyvern Racing, with the Audi being in P7, P4 in class. That is a good showing by Poofy Pillow. Lovely to see them do well. And lovely to see Jordan Brunch do well as well in front of Chris Blue and Justus Kuro. Oh, Chris Blue got a bit of a better run onto this start-finish straight, but Justus Kuro, what can he do? Can he maybe claw back this time on the straight, on the Mistral straight? It doesn't seem like it, because Chris Blue is making grounds. He's making grounds, catching up to Jordan Brunch even. Chris Blue is on a mission to take position within this session. Let's not have him flash him. I don't know. So, Chris Blue is right on the back of Jordan Brunch on the Mistral straight. He's edging ever closer in the slipstream. But what can happen right now? There is to try for an overtake, going for the inside line. And almost manages to make it stick, almost. Jordan Brunch having a better run on the outside, but on the next corner, all is decided. Chris Blue managed to get the position. Further up ahead, there's a battle between Thomas Wilson and Akito Asasagawa. Akito defending from Wilson. Wilson being on the inside, but having to get back. Ooh, that was a bit of a sausage curb. And the sausage was not good to Wilson. Losing a bit of ground in the process. But further behind we have Gary Slater still following Poofy Pillow. The two aren't really giving one another an inch. But John Prunch is keeping up with Chris Blue and of course wanting to get back the position. Because why not? Damatsu, on the meanwhile, managed to get the position on Nikolai already. Now, whew, that was a very interesting first half to the race already. And Charmander is currently still fighting with Psycho Kaiser. But since we are at the bit past the halfway point again, let's go through the current positions, shall we? We have Naughty Dragon 05, followed by Charmander, Psycho Kaiser, Akito Asasagawa, Thomas Wilson, Tom Hartzog, Poofy Pillow, Gary Slater, Chris Blue, Jordan Branch, Justus Kuro, Kaibo Damasu, Yuri Nikolai, Anatoly Buinovic, Christoph Rech, Alex Benson, Panic Fungus, Trazione Integrale, iMentrix VT, Kageru Kanemoto, Abdu Atskia, Shike Hawken, and Adrian Dabrovka. Now, Thomas Wilson had a moment. What happened there? But there is side-by-side action between Akito Asasagawa and Thomas Wilson. Let's not hope that was a touching between those two. But they are side by side, and Thomas Wilson edges over, and that was Akito taking out Thomas Wilson. Ooh, the stewards are gonna have a field day on this one. And Thomas Wilson now behind Hartog, behind Pillow, behind Slater. And there's the battle between Psycho Kaiser and Charmander. Psycho Kaiser being able to edge their way around the outside through Cine Corner. In the meantime, they have lost Naughty Dragon 05, who is still lapping in the low 56s this time around. But there is go, Charmander is fighting back. They want to keep this position, they need to keep this position for the class win. But now Psycho Kaiser is in front. And now Psycho Kaiser probably has the pace. But Charmander also found quite a bit of pace, having their best lap being a 156.432, while Psycho Kaiser is a 156.3. Very close to each other, and Charmander is attacking into T1, trying to get the worst line for Psycho Kaiser, but not managing to disassure them enough. Flashing, making sure Psycho Kaiser keeps on remembering that Charmander is there. And there is a back marker coming up the road. How will they deal with this back marker, which is Abda Atskia, I believe? How will they negotiate the back marker? That is always an interesting question in such races, where we have such differing skill levels or such differentiated lucks, perhaps, for the different drivers. We are not motorcycle racing here. Psycho Kaiser manages to, without a problem, negotiate the back marker. So does Charmander, but perhaps Charmander got a bit of a better off for having the better line through the last corner. While these two are battling it out, Christoph Retsch is at the back of Anatoly Buinovic. Woo! And Kageru Kanemoto was on the back of Mentrix, but Mentrix is currently trying to get a position from his fellow BMW driver Trazione Integrale. The two backmarkers are fighting, and Mentrix goes a bit wide there. Unfortunately getting a worse line onto the straight, but braking better into the next corner. They are soon to be lapped by Naughty Dragon 05, however. But now, coming onto the Mistral straight. I'm getting my straights mixed up already. Who has the better run onto the Mistral straight? Trazione Integrale seems to have the distance. So Mentrix is not able to catch up on the straight. One person who did manage to catch up right now was Gary Slater overtaking Tom Hartog. Let's see if we can catch that. That was just way more speed onto the start-finish straight. Tom Hartog just royally seemed to have screwed their exit out of the last corner up. But this three-way battle also includes Poofy Pillow, who managed to get ahead of Thomas Wilson, ahead of Chris Blue, managed to lose sight of the two. Speaking of which, Chris Blue is still being followed by Jordan Brunch. And Mentrix seems to have gone by Trazione Integrale, as Naughty Dragon 05 is coming to lap them both. How will they act now? Trazione Integrale, of course, wanting to fight back against Mentrix, but losing a bit of their line. And Naughty Dragon 05 making a safe overtake right there, right then. Charmander and Psycho Kaiser seem to have been battling quite heavily because they lost over 3 seconds to the lead. But Charmander is back in the lead now. Let's see if that was the last word they have spoken. Poofy Pillow seem to have lost a bit of time. Let's go back to Charmander and Psycho Kaiser. Charmander being followed very closely by the Lexus driver, and the Lexus is strong in a straight line. What can the Lexus do out of the slipstream? Psycho Kaiser definitely looking to make a move at the end of the straight, but is it close enough? He seems to be coming ever closer, edging ever closer. Now they are side by side, and it comes to the braking zone. Psycho Kaiser managing to brake at the same time, but with the inside line manages to make the move stick. Woo, but they are coming up to the next back markers now. The back markers that are Mentrix and Trazione Integrale. And Kageru Kanemoto. 3 back markers. Perhaps, maybe, wants to impede. And that was a slide caught by Charmander there. Woo, that was close. That was very close for the Sri Lankan driver, and Psycho Kaiser knows those are back markers up ahead, but the back markers are fighting their own fight. Kageru Kanemoto lets off but crashes into Charmander. What is this? That is not beautiful. That is not what we wanted to see. Charmander having to take a worse line through T1 now because of some back marker shenanigans. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But this leads to 2.5 seconds lost on Psycho Kaiser. Gary Slater in the meanwhile taking the position from Tom Hartog for P5 or P2 in class. What is happening? There is a fight between Alex Benson and Panic Fungus. What is Panic Fungus doing this far back? I know they had a bit of trouble in the start of the race, but I believe it was Panic Fungus retaking their position. Going up the field against Alex Benson right there. I'm very sorry, I seem to have a bit of a hiccup right now. Buinovic in the meanwhile is following closely on Christoph Retsch. Anatoly Buinovic looking to get the better, the Audi driver, but overshoots this corner a bit. That is not the best line you could take through there. Chris Blue in the meanwhile overtaking Thomas Wilson on the end of the straight. They are catching up to Poofy Pillow like it's nobody's business. And Poofy Pillow must be getting nervous now, seeing the BMW edge ever closer of Chris Blue. As Chris Blue needs to take a bit of an evasive maneuver there. We see Chris Blue has the pace, Chris Blue has the speed. But what does Poofy Pillow has against it? A bit of stopping action, and Thomas Wilson crashes into the back of Poofy Pillow there. What is going on? The aggressiveness and the mistakes have not stopped yet. As we are edging closer, we are in the last 5 minutes of the race. Anatoly Buinovic, of course, is following close behind Christoph Retsch still. But can he make up enough ground in these last 4 minutes, which translates to roughly 2 or 3 laps? Can he make up enough time? Further behind, there's Alex Benson, still behind Panic Fungus, really closely following the VTuber. And oh, this was close, almost crashing into each other, the two. But Alex Benson managed to not crash into his compatriot VTuber and compatriot McLaren driver while they are trying to follow Dragon 05, who is just in the second to last lap now. Wow, this is some action, and Jordan Brunch is close on the tail of Thomas Wilson now. Thomas Wilson losing a bit of ground in this final stage as Jordan Brunch takes a closer line on the inside. The second of the Coneco racing cars wants to, well, defend their prowess, I guess, against the sim racers, because Akito Asisagawa, their teammate, is ahead of the sim racers, being in P4 overall. Jordan Brunch in the meanwhile back here in P9 overall. But there's a bit of a surprise. Chris Blue must have had an error somewhere along the way, because they're now back again behind Slater and Hartog. Or were they always here? Or were they catching up? I think Chris Blue was just catching up to this pack of his fellow BMW driver and his fellow German Mark driver, I guess. But Chris Blue, being very strong in the first sector, manages to catch up to Tom Hartog quite much. Now what can he do running onto the Mistral straight? What can Chris Blue do the defending leader, probably not anymore leader of the Sim Racer Championship table, not taking the slipstream. I mean, still going faster but not taking the slipstream. That is a weird decision by Chris Blue. Oh, but now almost crashing into Tom Hartog, taking the outside line now and safely managing to negotiate his compatriot. Tom Hartog, however, manages to take more speed through Cine corner and gets the inside line into this next right-hander. Tom Hartog is not going down easily today. Woo! But Chris Blue very much directly on the back of the Dutchman. And behind them, Thomas Wilson trying to catch up again and managing to do so in the last sector. The last sector seems to be the Wilson sector. Holy mackerel! This is going for a close finish between the two. Four races. We have 4 races here fighting for this overall P6 position it is. But now, I guess we are in the last lap. Yes, Naughty Dragon is currently leading the last lap. There's 20 more seconds and that will not be enough to start another go around the Paul Ricard circuit. So, Naughty Dragon 05, let's give him a big round of applause for managing this 4th win in a row. 4 attended races and 4 race wins. Congratulations to Naughty Dragon 05, followed by Psycho Kaiser. But there's still a battle going on the Mistral Straight as Chris Blue is taking Tom Hartog now decisively. And Jordan Branch is trying to take Thomas Wilson. Not managing to do so quite yet. But Tom Hartog still again getting the better line through Cine corner. But this time Chris Blue defends it and manages to make it stick. As does Thomas Wilson defend his position. And Thomas Wilson even being good enough and quick enough through this last sector again to challenge Chris Blue for the position. Now Gary Slater manages to finish 2nd of the sim races, but who manages to finish in 3rd? That was a desperate last lap move by Thomas Wilson. Holy mackerel, that is going to be looked at by the stewards. Most definitely. Thomas Wilson coming across the line and getting the crash there by Tom Hartog, quite deservedly. Oh god. So, the finishing top 10, we got Naughty Dragon in front of Psycho Kaiser. Charmandur, the VTubers are lining up, it seems. Trying to make a beautiful picture there. We've got Akito Asusagawa in P4. We've got Gary Slater in P5. We got Thomas Wilson in P6, which probably will change. Tom Hartog in P8. Chris Blue in P9. Poofy Pillow in P10, Justus Kuro in P11, Yuri Nikolai in P12, Christoph Rech in P13, Anatoly Buinovic in P14, Panic Fungus in P15, Alex Benson in 16, Mentrix in 17, Trazione Integrale in 18, Atskia in 19, Hawken in 20, Dabrovka in 21, and Kanemoto in 22. Oh my god, this was some racing. And some racing we are going to do next week too, because next week we are going to race at Brands Hatch GP circuit, and it will be a close race too. Hopefully there will be some action. Hopefully there will not be as much damage done to the different cars as there was today. But yes, thank you everyone for watching, and